What's up, geeks and gamers? My name is Draymond, and welcome to Thorium Gaming. We're back with our second episode of Nightly Valor. Yeah, I'm not very good at coming up with ideas for names and things because, well, I'm very stereotypical. Anyway, so when we started this all off, we have the undead to deal with to our south. We're not currently at war with them, but it could be a big thing. And there is a mysterious island here, fell cargo. Have to deal with that. But currently, we are dealing with a lot of greenskin problems. Now, greenskins were a race that we didn't really have too much contact with during our Light of the Azure campaign. Now, though, they're becoming quite the problem. We're going to have a rebellion in Corone. Because no matter what we do for the next little bit, it's going to be ugly. And if we let it spawn and then take it down with the main army stack that we have going, it should be fine. Now, we did get battered a little bit, but not too badly. And with any luck, we'll be able to reinforce as we go along. Now, they have a couple of semi-large stacks out there, but I'm not too worried about it. So looking at Corone, we're definitely going to have a rebellion. It should spawn up here, pretty close to the capital. I am worried that these orcs are going to come in and try to mess with things, but if we look at our garrison details, Languine has peasants defending it, so not the greatest in the world. Corone itself is pretty heavily defended, though. Granted, it's just mounted yeomen, field trebuchet, a few bowmen, you know, not too great of stuff, but better than what we're rocking in our armies currently. But we need experience for me, and I believe it's Ryan. That is our first damsel, and of course she is a spellcaster, and I believe she's Lore of Beasts. Heavens, right, heavens. So it should be good. She's going to have a bunch of really cool things. There's not much that we can do right now, so we're just going to have to let it happen. See what the other factions do. We are going to eventually, and inevitably, try to become a lot more friendly with the other Bretonnian realms, the dukedoms. Now, that is worrying. Okay, so there is definitely cause to be concerned. That's a couple of Marienburg armies. We may have to defend Corone from siege, which would not be great. We may have to abandon our attempts at getting everything done. There are a lot of things going wrong right now. And we're going to start off with a fight that we probably can't win. We can hope, though. At this point, we just have to focus extremely well on dealing death blows to as many of the orcs as we can before their reinforcements arrive. We're heavily outnumbered. Alright, so we do know that they're right there, and it's those Doom Divers that I'm worried about. But we're going to use our Yeomen to take care of them. Set up our Spearmen to counter it.
Armed and ready.
This is going to be rather tough. So we're going to pause really quickly. Try to get our Yeomen moving. We'll see what we can do about getting our spearmen up to a place where they can actually cause some problems. Now, if the orcs fall back, we're going to be in trouble. I have a feeling we're either going to lose Languine, or it's going to get to the point where we have to recapture it. Not really sure what's going to happen right now. The little yeomen trying to do their best as goblins fly out of the air at them. Taking out their artillery is key, especially since, yeah, we are probably going to lose this fight. If our archers start shooting off, though, we might have a bit more of a chance.
What orders? We serve. Run 'em through.
And our yeomen have broken. Smashed off their archers, though. Gotta see if we can take some of those goblins down before they get in range. That Doom Diver is going to cause major, major havoc. And there goes our center. Pretty sure we're going to lose this one. Speed it up to see what we can do about taking down as many of these as we can. I'm not seeing a lot of good coming out of this, though. Just so many orcs compared to relatively few Bretonnians, and those are peasants at that. See what we can do about taking as many of them out as we can. But we are definitely not winning this fight. Maybe we'll get lucky and they'll just raise the city, and in that case, well, it's not entirely fortunate. We'll be able to hold on to it. We did kind of take Bartog's forces down a little bit more so we can crush them as we're going in. We need to be able to hold on to at least one city, though. It's not looking too good right now. Kind of a harsh way to start this off. And they just raided it, so that's that. Now, however, there are two orc armies in between us and Corone. And we are severely lacking in any sort of help. So I'll have to take a look at this. And we got the chivalric code. We're going to go for Artois, because it's closest to us and it's going to be one of the big ones. I'm wondering if we can get a peace treaty with these guys. Marienburg doesn't want a peace treaty. Let's see if we can repair these up a little bit. Can't repair both because we're short on funds.
Champion of the lady. Hold true.
Lost one unit of spearmen.
On for the lady.
That takes care of a few of our problems. I'll give full plate armor. And Lady Ryan, we're going to give you harmonic convergence. Make you a lot more effective in certain ways.
The lady's chosen.
Still not looking too good. We're down to only 2 units of spearmen in this.
Warrior King.
The real question is, can we get inside Corone itself? If we can, then all the better. And do we have... We do not have enough ranks to recruit any regiments of renown.
Your plan is a good one.
But we can get ourselves a few more units of infantry. We'll see what the other nations do. If Marienburg keeps pushing, we'll be under siege. And that will be a large, large fight deciding the fate of Bretonnia right off the bat. And it looks like they're not gonna come in. Well, that changes things up a little bit. We are getting raided, which is hurting our public order. We have that orc army building up. The other orc army that's losing its fightiness and has just moved into an ambush. Or got taken out by the Marienburg forces, which might actually help us. I think that's what ended up happening. But now everything's looking okay. We might have a chance to pull this out. Alright, so let's look at the orcs. They got some veteran units, including a goblin rock lava.
You seek counsel?
Unfortunately, I think we're going to have to take the orcs on. And if we can cripple them out, that'll be great. And then we can worry about Marienburg. So they have archers, night goblins, regular goblins, wolf riders, goblin spider archers, and that rock lava. This we can handle. 24 on the power scale. I think we'll start deployment on that. I'm not too achieved about having that. If we put our field trebuchets up here, they should be able to reach most of the orc and goblin army. And we're going to try to rip into them as quickly as we can. Now the difference being here is that our spearmen are better against large targets, whereas the swordsmen are good against infantry. Very similar to spearmen and white lions for the Azure. Put our knights there. We're going to squeak them through here. We should probably put them into their lance formation. We'll squeak them through this side and come down hard. But our Pegasus Knights, which are literally going to be the make or break for this, are going to go over there. I'll take up position here in the center. And Ryan, if you want to take up a left flank position, we'll see if we can get your spells in range. Alright, quickly pause it off the start. That rock lava is what I'm worried about. And seeing as how it's the most dangerous thing on the field, we're going to advance just a little bit, even though it's going to give us bad footing in that marshland, so we can get our archers up. But the big reason is to swing these units of Knights of the Realm out to the left flank, partially to bring Ryan into range for her devastating spells. She is Lore of Heavens, so that'll help us out a fair bit. There's nothing really in the Orc army that I'm too seriously worried about. And since they're moving their rock lava, we'll try and get in there and destroy it with our Pegasus. Pegasi? Pegasises? Okay, Pegasises sounds just weird. Alright, so those guys are going to get hit pretty quickly. Let's collapse these infantry groups down to deal with them. Actually, let's see if we can get these Pegasuses... Pegasi. It's Pegasi, Dre. Over there to chase those spider riders. Or at least bring them in range of some of our archers. Bretonian Knights charging over an open field. Kind of advantage to the Knights. See if we can turn our peasants around and shoot those guys. Our Pegasus Knights aren't doing too badly. They're always going to take more hits than pretty much every other unit we have. Alright, you Pegasus Knights can come back over here and try and get these Goblin Wolf Riders locked down. We've already done a fair bit of slaughtering out in the open fields. They were encamped. However, given that we are Bretonnians and we have a fair amount of open space to work with, we're going to let our guys chase down a few more of these things. More of them that we can knock out, the better. And if we can kill their leader...
Champion of the lady. Men at arms.
Might only be cathartic just to keep cutting down orcs, but... you can see how much larger they are compared to our troops. Be nice to see their warlord go down.
Fight. Kill. All knights. For Britannia.
Nice to feed the field trebuchet. Yeah, nice to see the field trebuchets actually getting some shots in.
Priestess of the lady!
And why not? Let's throw harmonic convergence out there, give some bonuses.
See your wisdom!
Because if we can knock down their warlord, that will be a big blow to their army being able to reform later. You Pegasus Knights might be able to get some of those error boys before they flee off the map.
Sons of Britannia.
No one ever said the opening matches were always going to be clean. I'd really love to see this warlord go down before he can make it to the edge of the map.
Send them back to their hells. Spearmen at arms. Quick now. King Llewellyn
And there he
the
goes. He's down. So we can end the battle there. And we caused a heck of a lot more casualties than I thought we were going to. Hey, 777 unlucky losses for the Orks. And we only lost 49 people, most of them being peasants. Fair few of them being Pegasus Knights, though. Now, one unit of Knights of the Realm took down 273 enemies. That's rather impressive. And of course, we're just going to be executing all the captives that we can because, well,
Making my way.
by doing that, we preserve our chivalry. And the Blessing of the Lady, it's basically a ward save for the entire army now because we've won battles in a row.
The light of the
As long as we don't retreat from a battle or anything like that, we will continue to receive this ward save.
Absolutely not.
So they have a lot of swordsmen, some crossbowmen. It's the pistoliers that worry me.
King Llewellyn
I think we can handle one more turn of raiding.
You seek counsel?
Because I don't really want to engage them like that right now. We'll get Languine going up a little bit better. Let's check our diplomacy here.
Lord of
The lady grants you safe passage in these lands.
Baston we can't do anything more with just yet.
Welcome
Artois,
to fair Britannia. I refuse.
nothing quite yet, but we are gaining
Are these times?
with
The
them.
lady grants you her blessing.
I'd love to gain with the Fey Enchantress. She's a powerful spellcaster.
Now is the time to unite.
Albrecht I'm not too worried about. He's eventually going to join up with us. He's an underdog. But now for the Empire.
greetings from
If we can get a trade agreement with them,
order.
not quite yet, but we are increasing, so shouldn't be too far from now. We have a trade agreement with Schrace. Overall, not exactly the greatest start to things, but a couple of fights in, we're doing pretty good. We know that damage building is damaged, but we can't do anything about it right now, so let's pass it off to the other realms and see what's going to happen. The Skull Smashers got destroyed. Was that by the dwarves? By the Empire? Oh. Well, okay then. So the Empire actually took care of part of our orc problem in the mountains, which is unusual. And the elven armies are doing what elves do. We're still being raided, but it's not causing us too terribly much damage overall. We're still gaining 20 rep per turn. And we can repair that shipyard.
King Lewin.
They are just out of range of us being able to come in with our reinforcements. Question is,
King of Bretonia.
we don't have...
I'll ignore that.
They have 16 units, we have 16 units, but they have a lot of infantry. Not a lot of shooting, though. Neither do we, mind you,
My
but
blade is ready.
I would love to be able to upgrade our stables to a livery, so we can, A, get a paladin in there to help out, and some knights of the errant, because then we'd have more knights to crash down on them. Which just ain't gonna work right now. The garrison at Caron is 14 units? Not great. But we really can't stand this raiding much longer. Let's see if we can chase these guys out. Or do we want to take on the Orks? No, we're going to have to go after Marienburg. So they only have 1 unit of cavalry, and that's pistoliers. 2 units of crossbowmen, set of free company militia, and the rest is all infantry. So, theoretically, if we do this right, those pistoliers can get jumped on by our Pegasus Knights. Our artillery can do some severe damage to the units in the center, especially if we set up on that left hill there. And again, I pointed at the screen instead of showing you on here. This left hill, it's pretty much the same battleground we just fought on. So if we set up over here, and we are going to gamble on 7. And Renauld is with us. 7 to 19 definitely helps. So we can outshoot them. Very rare for a Bretonian army, I might add. We set our field trebuchets there. They should have range to start firing immediately. Now let's find where that unit of pistoliers is. We'll set our Pegasus Knights up, ready to go in and take those pistoliers on. They're light cavalry, they're skirmishers, so they're going to want to run. This is mostly an infantry army, so it'll be mostly an infantry clash in the center. But if we wait and let them come more to us than if we go to them, we should, in theory, be able to hurt them a significant more amount. That didn't really make sense. We should be able to hurt them more badly than they hit us. And we'll send our knights down from the side to crash into them. Again, we gotta put them into our lance formation.
We are ready. Understood.
Now you Pegasus Knights, at the very least you'll draw some fire. It's only those pistoliers I really want you concerned with.
At once! At speed!
Archers should almost be in range. Pegasus Knights are getting shot a little bit, but they have engaged the pistoliers, which is what we wanted.
For my liege!
And now if we charge down to help them,
By the lady!
let's just pause it really quick because we know they're starting to split up. And if we have this unit's the Knights of the Realm, if I can select them, which apparently is not being nice to me today, get them to charge there, you guys to charge there.
We serve the lady! Attack! Ready for orders! For the lady! Champion of the lady!
Your behest?
Number 9!
And they just got plowed over.
Priestess of the lady!
Kill the soldiers! Our liege lord demands! Noble knights! Knights of the Ring! Battle ready! For our lady! Die, fiends!
Priestess of the lady! All shall know my power!
Wonder if I can get stuck in with their leader. That'd be a big blow to their morale.
Knights of the Ring! At once! Charge! Run! The gods of the biggest knights!
Okay, some of their guys are actually starting to full route now.
Protect Bretonia! Battle ready! For the king! For the king!
Destroy!
Ryan, why don't you come back me up in the center there?
At arms!
They have to realize that they can't win this one right
Priestess
now.
of the lady!
The liar!
And they've broken, but I want Mr. von Leibowitz to go down.
Priestess of the lady!
So if we knock him out, and we actually killed him, again it comes down to gaining some of that extra experience at the end of a fight,
Knights of the realm! We are ready! For
as well as preventing them from
biggest knights!
coming back at us later.
We serve the lady! For honor! Spearmen
So we'll charge a little bit longer, see if we can pick off a few more of these Marienburg fellows. Considering we just wiped out a total unit.
the lady!
It's a shame, the Empire provinces should nominally be our allies, but Marienburg, you just pushed it a little bit too much. And across open ground, you're not going to outrun knights.
Retreat!
Even though we're charging into a forest now. Should be dropping a lot of those swordsmen. And the cowards that use ranged weaponry against knights. Alright, I think we've cleaned up enough of them. Some extra experience for our troops. We killed them at 10-1. Wow. That definitely hurt them. And again, it was one unit of Knights of the Realm that really shone. 215 kills. It's a lot of Empire men down. And we didn't lose too many Knights. Of course, our Pegasus Knights decided they would get hurt. Since they are Empire province people, we can offer them redemption,
To victory!
which we did. So some of them could be converted into true Bretonian citizens. And we'll take the crown of Bretonia. Only seems fitting. Lady Ryan, we're going to give you one of the most devastating spells in the entire playbook. Uranon's Thunderbolt and Kamina Indora are my two favorite spells from the board game. And Ryan's gonna have them both.
You seek the lady's favor.
Now, we could probably go after the Orks, or we could try to finish off the Empire soldiers that are there.
King Lewin.
I don't want to leave us exposed to another Marienburg army coming in, though. Tough call, but we're going to head back to Corone and let our guys heal up a little bit. Gave us a little bit of cash, too. So we'll pass it over to the other nations and see what they do. And if the Orks start coming back down, then we'll have to deal with them again. It seems the winds of magic are blowing strongly in Corone right now. And yes, Mr. Atwigzer. Okay, and Nordland just declared war with Marienburg. And Artois declared war with Marienburg. So they'll probably back off for a little bit now. It's weird going from a full-on map to coming back to all this. So we have lethal etiquette for 5 turns. Hero action success chance plus 10% for all characters. We still don't have the funds. It's going to cost us 5,000 gold to build up Corone. What we could really use is maybe a skull reef right off the coast, but it's nothing that's looking too appealing right nearby. But I think we're going to get one more fight in, especially because they've got Savage Orc Error Boys. And they're recovering a little bit from the fiasco that was our first fight. I don't want to give them time to recover. So we're going to go in, and this is probably going to do it for this week, but we got to fight the Orks. So we're definitely going in. They have almost no infantry. They've got Spider Riders, Spider Rider Archers. We'll be taking care of those with our Pegasus Knights. Our Knights of the Realm can go after some of the other cavalry, and our infantry can go after their archers. I've got a feeling this is going to be a charging action more than a holding one. Which has worked out pretty well for us so far. Bretonnians are an aggressive army. They need to be. And the land actually suits us. We have a nice hill right up here. Should give our field trebuchets a fairly long line of sight and range. And we'll gamble on 10 just because we can. Alright, so that covers most of their army. Pegasus Knights, we'll get you to come off to the side. You guys are going to be hunting the Spider Riders. Which was a kid's cartoon show when I was growing up, I think. Those are just regular Spider Riders. Where are the ones that have the arrows? Down this side. I'm going to get you guys over here to go in there pretty quick. It's mostly broken and wet, boggy ground. Not exactly great for cavalry. Which hurts both of our armies pretty much equally. Still want to keep the high ground advantage for our archers, though our infantry is going to be moving ahead fairly apace. Our own knights are going to go in, try and seek out some things to take down. We're going to get set up. Alright, those Spider Riders are probably going to take off because they don't want us to charge in. Send our Knights of the Realm after those riders out there.
I shall prevail. Infantry. At once. Quick then.
We might as well advance our archers up too.
King Lewin Leocan. What do you need?
It's mostly goblins out in the woods there. Looks like our knights have totally routed one of the units of spider riders, so they can go after those archers.
Spearmen at arms! For my liege! Ready for battle! Men at arms! For my liege!
Ryan, you might as well get down into the fray too.
Boats! Aye! We serve!
The Pegasus Knights are getting a little chewed up. Let's see if we can get them out of there.
Glory calls! Attack! Knights of the Wind! We are ready! Trample down! Knights of the Wind! Brave knights!
Seriously, let's see if we can get those Pegasus Knights out of there. I don't want them getting too hurt.
Knights of the Realm! Get those commoners shooting their filthy...
Now that our infantry's getting into the fray.
Child of light!
Not really any place where we can drop this down where it's going to be effective, but
I call
might catch
you
one or two of them.
host
Now let's save the magic. Too late. Fried one Scoblin? Spider Goblin. They're called Scoblins now.
Knights of the Realm!
Giant spiders with goblins with pointy crowns versus knights. My money's on the knights.
We serve our liege!
I think that's got them broken. Again, we killed them 10-1. That's kind of impressive, especially since... And we have a couple of veteran Knights of the Realm units now. They're really picking up with the amount of kills they're getting. Even some of the peasants are starting to get veterancy. Surprisingly, the field trebuchets aren't.
On to victory!
But with that all said and done, the fact that we actually managed to hold on to our only province, it's probably a good place to call it for this week, guys. So if you liked the video, please consider hitting that like button. If you'd like to join up with the 232, possibly see your name pop up in one of the Let's Plays, just hit that subscribe button and make sure you turn your notifications on so you don't miss when a new video goes out. And remember guys, life is a game, so play to win, and until next time, take care.